Hello and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Aiman bin ROSFRIDIN, student ID 20221913 from BA2512D. In this presentation, I would like to present about Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. So, we go to the first chapter, which is Chapter 6, Time Value of Money. Definition of time value of money. Time value of money is a concept concerning the value of the money at different point of time. As such, a ringgit 1 year from now is not equal to the value of a ringgit to be received today, because a ringgit received today can be invested and it will grow with time. Time value of money, we have two types: future value and present value. For future value, the value at some future time of a present amount of money or a series of payment evaluated at a given interest rate. So, how to calculate future value? The formula is future value FV equal to PV, present value, bracket 1 plus R, interest rate, bracket N, number of period. So, for present value is the current value of a future amount of money or a series of payment evaluated at a given interest rate. So, how to calculate present value? The formula is PV, present value, equal to FV, future value, divided bracket 1 plus R, interest rate, bracket N, number of period. So, we go to the annuity. What is annuity? Annuity is a unique form of multiple payment stream or cash flows with the same amount or value paid or received in each period occurring over a specific period. The annuity cash flow are quite common in financial transactions such as payments for mortgage, hire purchase, leasing, insurance, and loans. For annuity, we also have two types. The first one is ordinary annuity, the second is annuity due. So, for ordinary annuity, is a payment or receipt occur at the end of each period. For annuity due, is a payment or receipt occur at the beginning of each period. To calculate future value annuity due is FV, future value, equal with A, open bracket FVIFA, future value interest factor for an annuity, multiple with K, interest rate, and divided with N, number of period, close bracket and open bracket 1 plus K, close bracket. And to calculate present value annuity due is PV, present value, equal with A, open bracket PVIFA, present value interest factor for an annuity, multiple with K, which is interest rate, and divided with number of period N, close bracket and open bracket 1 plus K, and close bracket. So, this is the table of multiple period. For frequency annually, interest rate must be divided with 1. Frequency semi-annually, interest rate must be divided with 2. Frequency quarterly, interest rate must be divided with 4. Frequency monthly, interest rate must be divided with 12. Frequency daily, interest rate must be divided with 360 days. Okay, the last for this topic is loan amortization. So, what is loan amortization? This is the procedure of paying off a loan by making periodic equal payments at regular interval. Include both principal and interest and are pay until the entire principal and interest due are paid in full. So, without wasting our time, we go to the chapter 7, which is working capital management. Definition of working capital management. Working capital management is a part of the firm's capital is required for financing short-term or current asset, and the funds thus invested in current asset will be converted into cash. Involve day-by-day decision regarding investment in current asset and how the asset are to be financed. The objective of managing working capital is to achieve risk-return trade-off that maximize the value of the firm. So, the next is current asset investment policies. For this, we have 3 items: relaxed, restricted, moderate. First thing first, for relaxed is low risk policy. The second is high liquidity. And the third is low return from investment. And the last is low productivity of current asset relative to fixed asset. For restricted, first one is high risk policy and low liquidity. The third is higher return from investment. And the last is high productivity of current asset relative to fixed asset. For moderate, we have 2 things. The first one, middle policy between relaxed and restricted policies. And the second is moderate risk and return. So, we go to the next topic for chapter 7, working capital strategies or approaches. So, the first strategy or approach by working capital is hedging. What is hedging? Hedging is match the maturity of asset and liability that firm use temporary financing to finance temporary current asset and permanent financing to finance permanent asset. Finance all fixed asset with long-term financing, and only a portion of permanent current asset would be financed long-term. The remaining permanent and fluctuation current asset would be financed with short-term borrowing. The second strategy from working capital is aggressive. So, how it's work? Use short-term or temporary financing to support a relative large portion of current asset. Finance all fixed asset with long-term financing, and only a portion of permanent current asset would be financed long-term. The remaining permanent and fluctuation current asset would be financed with short-term borrowing. And the last strategies or approach from working capital is conservative. So, how it's work? The firm use long-term financing for the asset. Use of short-term financing only for the very peak requirement. Firm support fixed permanent current asset and average temporary current asset with long-term financing.